going live. It lets us know that we are live. And we should get I should get the notification since you're one of our friends.
Hi, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. And welcome to another episode of Mind Your Business Mondays with your host, Travis.
And I'm Marletha.
And our episode tonight is brought to you by OnPointe Alliance, where we provide identity-related solutions to a diversified scope of services, with fingerprinting and background screening being our primary services. To learn more, scan the barcode at the top of the screen or click on the link in the bio.
All right, so we want you to tackle the week like a boss every Monday here with us on Mind Your Business Monday, a compass for entrepreneurial growth. So you can level up your skills by learning from entrepreneurs who have been there and done that, and glean from their wisdom, both professional and personal leadership and development. So whether you're just starting out or already an established player, this is the compass to guide you towards success. So again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe,
Please.
follow, all the things. Click the notification bell so you know when we're going live.
I done mine, so I got it showing that we are live, and I have shared. And again, after you guys share, if you don't mind doing us a favor, just post it that you shared. And we look forward to any and all comments on tonight. Again, we are blessed to be graced by the presence of our guest co-host, Ms. Rabaya Hogans of Variable Professional Solutions. Welcome, Ms. Rabaya.
Hello. How are you?
We are well, and you?
I'm great.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I am so proud that she is one of my mentees. She is her official grand opening is going to be in 2024. And where are you?
I'm in New Jersey.
What part of New Jersey?
Manchester Township.
Manchester Township, New Jersey. So y'all going to be looking out for Variable Professional Solutions. Yay! I'm
Good
so
deal.
proud of you, lady.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Deletta, for sharing. And thank you. It was so nice to see you last week, Ms. Deletta. It was so good to see your face. It was so good to see your face in the place, Ms. Deletta. Good evening, Mama Diane. Good evening. And thank you.
Hey.
Thank you all for sharing. So tonight we're going to be unmasking fingerprinting, the OnPointe Alliance experience. And what is that? I am so glad that you asked. Tonight we're going to be talking about the benefits of actually partnering with OnPointe Alliance, and how our exceptional customer service sets OnPointe Alliance fingerprinting apart from all the rest, y'all. We are pioneering this thing. We doing some things, all right? We'll be detailing our exclusive partnership program, revealing how we're reshaping the fingerprinting industry for businesses like yours by exploring our membership perks that our partners enjoy. We're going to let you guys take a look into what it is that we're offering. So whether you're an existing partner or you're just curious about what OnPointe Alliance fingerprinting services has to offer, Unmasking Fingerprinting is our way of spilling the tea, if you will, for all things fingerprinting. Tune in as we direct you on the road to a seamless, efficient, and stress-free, free, blah, blah, blah. Free. We be ready, boy. Stress-free. I don't. Thank you so much.
Get some harmonica one day.
She is trying. Thank you so much, Deletta. Thank you so much. She was congratulating you as well, Rabaya.
Deletta said congratulations.
Thank you, Deletta. Thank you very much.
And Mama Diane said congratulations as well.
Thank you, Diane.
Listen, she's she's really, really good.
She's making us proud.
She is. I told her once I get a large mobile service, I'm going to have to fly her here to help us knock them off.
Well, let's jump right in.
So, guys, thinking about partnering with OnPointe Alliance. So some industries don't require you to get fingerprinted. You're not mandated or governed by any specific agency to get fingerprinted. But I always say just because you're not required to do something doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Okay. So regardless if you have staff, regardless if you use independent contractors, if you have volunteers, you can run a background check on them. And think about it, when we're hiring certain people to do work, we have to give them what? Our passwords. We have to give them proprietary information. We have to let them inside of our systems, right? We don't know who these people are just because they have a website and because they have a service and yeah, they got a Facebook page.
Right.
In most instances, you had a weird interaction with them. And if you had to fire these people, you didn't copy and paste your information, because I learned that the hard way. When that, I mean, that's a golden nugget, which ain't related to fingerprint. When you hiring these people, when you have to give them your passwords, create a fake password or a temporary password, not fake, a temporary password to give them. So when you have to fire them, you can kick them out. Because if you know that as soon as you fire them, they kick you out of their system. And you don't have access to any of those documents. You don't have access to any other information. You don't even remember. All you know is you completed their intake process. But guess what? They got all the information on you, but you didn't think to get information on them. You hired them. But now the large companies, they're not going to hire you without doing a background check on you.
This is true.
Right? But we carry the most liability because those large companies, guess what they have? Lawyers on hand. So they get sued, they can settle, they can pay. We get sued, our business shut down. They coming for some people, depending on how your business is set up, they're coming for your personal assets.
If you don't have it set up right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm making a point and giving you something to think about, because I guarantee you, if you're watching this live and you had to do business with these other small businesses, from marketing to graphic design to folks want to help you with CRMs, and they want to help you with all this stuff that you got to get them access to. You hiring your cousin and his friends and her friends because it's affordable, and you're not thinking about the liability behind it in the event somebody decides to do something unintegral. Okay, so don't think, well, I don't have employees, I don't have to do that. If you sign a contract, whatever they require from you is because that's what they require to cover them. You can do the same thing. Okay.
And what we finding more and more, we're finding more and more companies. We have customers come in saying, "I've been on this job for 20 some years. They've never had me do background check before." And more companies are starting to have their employees do background checks because of the times that we live in and some of the things that are happening right now. With people working on a job, you don't really know. Somebody's working on your job, and there's people that don't know. So look at these school teachers, for example. You got a guy not too long ago made the news at a school, a teacher, and all of a sudden he then got caught with what you call it? Well, basically in the child pornography. But he's there in the school teacher. All the parents are shocked. Oh my God, he missed so and so. It's such a nice teacher. But when you don't have those things in place where you can do those background checks and check up on your employees, you stand the risk of that. So we're seeing more and more people coming in from different industries who were not doing it years before. Now all of a sudden they're starting to do it, and that's what we're talking about tonight. When you think about the business that you have, you got people coming in, whether the business that Aletha mentioned or those home healthcare businesses.
Oh yes.
Where they got a lot of you're doing it with the family. It starts off, and then all of a sudden a friend of the family want to come in. We need to do your due diligence to do your background check on these people before they come in and start dealing with your customers.
And you made a good point. We have been seeing an incline in people saying, I've been on this job for X amount of years and they've never made me do this. I don't know. This don't make sense. I did this a long time ago. I've been having my license for this amount of years. You know why? Mental health is a big crisis right now.
Yep.
things change, people
People
change.
change.
Life is lifing for a lot of
I like that.
people.
Life is
Okay.
life.
So just because something wasn't there at the time you got hired doesn't mean things didn't change along the way. Some people are dealing with coping mechanisms. They just start drinking, got DWIs, they got hooked on pain pills, and we can go.
Not to mention post pandemic depression.
Yes,
that has there's been a lot of increase in road rage and violence in the stores because people have been to themselves for so long and then sat there and got angry.
So things change. So we want to open up your mind to consider, just because I'm not required to do something,
right,
doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. And have you ran a background check? I'll go even further. Some of you all are letting people live with you. Mm-hmm. Some of you have roommates. Have you ran a background check on them?
Don't ride up on Judge Matthews.
You got kids. You got daughters. You got sons. Watch your kids. Watch your daughters.
In the people's court.
Okay. Have you ran a background check on these folks? Or was because they nice, somebody knew them, you let them come? You see what I'm saying? So we can't ignore life. We can't ignore things. So I just wanted to say that, to put a frame around, we have to start thinking about risk mitigations. We have to start thinking about protecting our brands, protecting our families, protecting ourselves. We can't think of trying to be cheap and not get a background check. Why would I do that? Well, they'll be offended if baby.
Be offended.
Baby. Before they do a company gonna do business with you, they're gonna check. And that's why another reason why some of these companies, the employees are saying, I didn't have to do that at first. You know why? Because the people who they have contracts with, guess what they're requiring?
Right.
That if you're gonna do business with us, everybody on your staff has to have a background check. You see what I'm saying? So you need to change how you're thinking. All right. So I just wanted to shed some light and give some perspective on that. Don't think one way. All right. So we're going to go into ways that we are helping our clients and our partners save money, time, and resources. All right. So we're going to start off with the services that we provide. We provide a diversified scope of fingerprinting services, but tonight we're going to focus on our most popular options, which is the ink card fingerprinting. Now, that's the service that you typically would go to the police department to get. A lot of them are not providing that service anymore, and it's hard for you to find a place. Even when you call around and look on different people's websites, they say they do it, but guess what? There's more than one type of ink card fingerprint. You got the traditional ink where they put ink on your finger and roll it on the card. Okay. Then they have the scanned ink card fingerprinting where they capture your prints on a device and print them out on a card. All right. Now, not every agency, a lot of them do, but not every agency or circumstance accepts the scanned ink, that you have to do a traditional ink on the card and roll it. Okay. I didn't realize how easy it is to run a back. It's not easy. It's not that it's easy. Depending on because you should not just be running background checks. We're talking about if you're a business owner or you're conducting business, you can run a background check on someone. There's so many wide range of services, and we're going to talk about our services that will allow you to do that. Okay.
Unless, Deletta, you can let me know, unless you're talking about some of the other, now there are some things that people are doing, and I've heard of you seen on some shows where they're coming up with different things where even you can go online and do a certain type of somewhat of a quote unquote background check on people. Now, it may not be as thorough
But we can't,
as what it.
Because we don't really know.
No, that's what I'm asking her. If that's,
is that what she's talking
unless that's what she's making reference to, is what I'm talking about. So it may not be in the along the, because she said I didn't realize how easy it is to run a back. So let me ask you this question, Letta. What did you do, or what have you heard about that has brought you to that place where you're saying that you didn't realize, but now you realize running background checks on people are easy, or are you making reference to something that we said tonight?
Yeah.
That way maybe she can clarify.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to refer to what I'm talking about, because we only can shed light with certainty on what we do and what's within our industry. I was in the process of saying there's several things out there that you can do, but we're talking about an official FBI background check. There are ways that it's not that you're running a background check on someone. You can require a background check. Well, we have two services that allow you. One, if you want them to be fingerprinted, is something called a personal review that companies do it all the time. They require the applicant to go somewhere to a certified location, get fingerprinted, and then the FBI will send the results to the applicant, and the applicant is required to turn that report into you. It's on an FBI letterhead. It's an FBI official document. And then what they do is they'll send them a PDF version that they can download and share. A lot of agencies accept that. But then they also have what's called a hard copy that's on certified tamper-proof paper, and they will instruct the applicant, don't open it.
Right.
So that way it's not tampered with, it's not, no fraudulent stuff can happen. So then the applicant brings you the envelope from what they receive from the FBI. You open it and it's on certified tamper-proof paper. That's if they want to if you want them to get fingerprinted, because you have no way to process an ink card. We haven't gotten to, I was getting into the services and the different ways to do that, right? But there are ways to fingerprint and require someone and require that, and all they're going to do is hand you the report saying there is nothing on the federal database on the federal level on this person's report. Then you can run a state-specific background check. Okay. Also, that you can do a name check on someone. Now we have a service that, because you're a business owner, you can create a free account, go into the person's information. Because it cuts out the third party, it goes straight to the credit bureau. You can watch the process of, from the time that the applicant gives you permission and verify themselves that they are them and that they give you permission. Within minutes, you can get the report. It's 3 different levels of more extensive reporting, but you can do that on your side. Okay, so there are options, and you doing your due diligence on making sure this person doesn't have something on their record. Of course, some people right under the radar, but at least you did your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So hopefully I clarified that what I was referring to. So we do the ink card. We have the traditional, as I stated, where you take the ink, roll it on, put it on your finger, roll it on the card, just like the police department. Then we also have a scan where we can scan your fingerprints on the device, print them out. You leave our card. It's still an ink card, but it's just a scanned ink card. It's not a traditional ink card. Your agency will let you know if you can do either or, but in most instances, you can't just pick which one. Right. So we highly encourage you to confirm with your requesting agency. That's whomever is telling you to get fingerprinted. What are they requiring? So I'll say right there. So what are they requiring of you? And then that'll let you know which one that you can or cannot do. You can answer and read her question.
So the letter just said hiring employees and having tenants created a fear in my mind. Since I compared myself with bigger companies, I wasn't sure how to go about getting background checks.
Well, baby, it's that easy. You can either have them call us, or depending on what state they're in, find an approved fingerprinting vendor, certified approved fingerprinting vendor, request an FBI live scan, and tell them to select personal review. They will get fingerprinted. FBI gonna send them the results, and you require them to turn in, if you're okay with accepting the PDF version. I personally would want that, because folks so savvy now with technology. I personally wouldn't want the PDF because I don't know if it's real or not, right? Because you're sending me over something. However, if I got that hard copy in the envelope that you didn't open, and I tell you you have to submit that to me, and I'm the first one open, I tell I haven't been tampered with, and it's just gonna flat out say, nope, there's nothing on this person's background. Now, again, it's federal level. It does not check all the states. Now, we have clients that does both. They'll require that on the federal level, and then sometimes they'll run their name as well for state-specific check.
Right.
Okay? So we can talk more about your specific need and how to best pick a product that fits what you're trying to accomplish, but there's ways to do that you don't have to spend a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And a lot of these companies, just for, so you know, the FBI report, they're not reimbursing these people. You want to work for us? You want to do business with us? You pay for it yourself,
right,
and then you turn it in. So you can tell them they have to cover that cost, or you can cover the cost. Now, when you do the name check through us, yes, you're paying for it. Now, you can arrange something with them that they have to pay you, you know, but you can pick which level service you want, and you can pay, but you're not charged unless the report is actually ran. For example, let's say you were hiring me and you say, well, Alita, you get 48 hours to respond to the email that's coming to you. I personally give people 24 hours, because you can't stop what you're doing and hit a button that say you approve. Take 5 minutes, put your information in. You don't want to do business with me. Okay, so go ahead and answer and give permission to run your background check so I can get this over with and done, right? So we can talk more about that, your specific needs. But yes, ma'am, you don't have to break the bank to do your due diligence.
But you're welcome to that. That's what we're here for.
Yep. So we got the traditional and the scan. Oh, and one thing about that particular service, it can be archived, meaning you can store your prints on file and have them printed out, so you have to keep coming back over and over and over and over. Now, some companies say, oh, you can't do that, because the truth is, after a certain period of time, some agencies won't accept fingerprints, that the card, because each card has to be dated. If it's past 30 or 60 days, they don't consider those prints current. So there's a way to get archived and not be considered not current, but those prints are on file where you don't have to keep coming back. The prints are stored online, in a secure database for you, and you just request cards to be mailed out to you, so you can submit those cards to your requesting agency.
And of course, you get to choose for yourself how long you will want those to be on file, and there's a price for each one. But it's convenient for those. We have some clients travel 3 hours to come to us. So a lot of nurses who were traveling like 3 hours took advantage of the archive, so they don't have to come in anymore to get those prints. But we can have them on file for a specified period of time that they choose. Yes,
and we actually had somebody have to drive from San Antonio, and that's like a 16-hour drive.
That's long.
Yeah, because we were the only ones on the list of approved vendors that they can go to. So they had to make that drive, and you better know we took care of them. All right, so that's the ink. Then we have the FBI live scan, which is what I just explained to Deletta, whereas a federal level background check. Now, we do two different. There's two different ways to get that done. So you can either be in person, come into our office, boom, fingerprint you, submit those to the FBI channeler, they process them and send you the report I was just talking about. But let's say you're in New Jersey, there's not a fingerprinting company that's approved on your particular list that you received from your employer or requesting agency. And you see our name and we all the way in Texas, you like, wait a minute, I can't go to Texas to get fingerprinted. Well, what you can do, and in that instance, the agency is requiring an FBI live scan. You can actually go somewhere. So you'll stop by Variable Professional Solutions. It depends on if they're at that time, if they don't have live scan services at that time. You can go there, let Rabaya fingerprint you on an ink card. You mail those ink cards to us. We can scan them and send them to the FBI for you.
That's the hard card.
It's called hard card service. So you can go to a police department, you can go to Variable Professional Solutions, you can go to any certified fingerprinting provider, get fingerprinted, mail those cards to us. We can scan them and submit them if you have to come to OnPointe Alliance in the instance. Okay. That's another service. Oh, and then also apostille. So a lot of the FBI services that's international travel, they have to be apostille. So if you're going to Spain, Portugal, those overseas countries, you have to deal with the embassy or something like that. They're going to require in a lot of instances that your FBI report is apostille.
Or apostille. It's different people pronounce it different ways, but some people know.
Apostle,
applesauce.
Whichever way you say it, we can provide that service as well. And yes, it's with the and it'll be sent to Washington, D.C. It's the same process. It's just you don't have to go make all these different stops to get everything done. We try to be a one-stop shop for you. Okay, so that's our FBI live scan. You want to talk about Florida?
So I sure will. So according to the Compact Council, basically in a nutshell, which is a group of y'all, she be so nervous about me. So I don't understand how she be so nervous about me. I'm like,
we're gonna talk after we log out. We're gonna
oh my goodness.
Ain't no telling what he gonna say. Ain't no telling what.
Can y'all believe this after this point where she
when
can't
we go
believe
live
I'm
on our
say,
personal pages, we're gonna have this conversation. We're gonna call it family meeting. Okay?
My goodness. All right. So basically a group of wealthy people who make the rules up as far as how to keep money in their state or whatever. I would say it safely that way. Okay. But anyway, with the laws in order to basically to keep funding in the states, it's been designed that if you need electronic fingerprintings, you will have to get it for a specific state. You have to be physically in that state to get fingerprints done. And you have to do it with the agency of that state's choosing, whoever they have licensed and vetted to do fingerprints or electronic fingerprints on their behalf.
Who has a contract?
Or who has a contract, okay? For example, there's a company here in the state of Texas who has the contract with the state of Texas to do all of their electronic fingerprinting. And so, however, we have been vetted and approved to do electronic fingerprints on behalf of the state of Florida. And that's the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So basically, if you are in the state of Texas, like many of our clients are, they want to do work either remotely or they're getting ready to travel to Florida, they can come to us to get their fingerprints captured, and then we electronically send those. This is the in-person. We send those, we submit those prints to the state, directly to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for them to process those fingerprints. The other option is you're in another state, again, New Jersey. Say you were, Rabaya is Very Professional Solutions, and you need to get prints sent to the state of Florida. you can go to Rebaya and get those prints done on the hard card, and then again mail those cards to us, and then we have the ability or capability of scanning those cards and then submitting them to the state of Florida. That's called the hard card. Same thing as the FBI, but this is what will be called state specific because this is specifically for the state of Florida. So we offer that service as well, and I believe that's one of the ones that we can archive too, right?
No.
You cannot archive Florida. Okay. Well, that's the Florida, okay, Florida background screening.
So we also do ATF e-file. So those are gun people.
Let's pop it off now.
You needing suppressors, gun trusts, any gun related type of usage or purpose. We can provide the e-file, and the way that works, we fingerprint you. It's saved as a file. You don't leave the office with fingerprint cards. We email you that encrypted file for you to upload to the ATF or submit to whomever is requiring you to get that particular type of fingerprinting services. Okay. So then the last thing we're going to mention, our one of our most popular services is the name check. We do employment, pre-employment, and tenant screening. So again, it's free to set up, whether you're doing 100 or 1,000 employees. It's free. You set up the account as you need to run background screen name checks. You got 3 options back there to choose from. 3 options to choose from. Enter your card information, or you can have, if they're paying for it or you paying for it. And until they hit accept, you don't get charged. If it don't get ran, don't get charged. You got people who, they are procrastinators. So let's say I apply with you, and within that 48 hours, you requested a background check, but I didn't approve and do the stuff I needed to do on my side. You don't get charged until I say okay, and they actually run the background check. So that's one that I highly recommend. Cost efficient, cost effective for small business owners who are trying to save money. You get larger, that's when you get to these companies where it's all these different packages and deals and things like that. But if you're just doing a one-off here, you hire a couple people or a couple tenants a month, you're just trying to do something. Again, the key word is due diligence. You're doing your due diligence. This would be one of the ways to go if fingerprints are not being required. Okay. Go ahead. Let me try and listen to something. So all of these services can be found on our website at OnPointeAlliance.com. OnPointeAlliance.com to learn more about our services, the process, the prices, and our availability. You can find it there. All right. And then, or feel free to reach out to us. But again, please, all the information is on the website. If you have any questions that is not covered on there, feel free to reach out to us. But it's easier for us to direct you to the website so you can see it, read it, process it, the information from there. Okay. So those are our services. Now we want to jump into the benefits of partnering with us. So we have partnership discounts and perks. So who doesn't love a good deal? Who doesn't love to feel prioritized and catered to? So we actually have 3 different tiers for our partners, depending on, so each level is based on how many services per month you utilize. One person can need 2 services. One person can need 10. One person can need 20 services. Okay. Like those ink cards, it's instances where medical professionals, they are required to, sometimes they have 5 states that they have to send 2 ink cards to. That's a total of 10 services, right? So, depending on the level you come in at and you have to fingerprint on a regular basis, you get special pricing. when you are in partnership with us. Okay. So again, we have the 3 tiers that you can come in at. You reach out to us and we can give you more information on that. Also, you get priority scheduling. Our business hours are from 9 to 5. Well,
Monday
guess
to
what
Friday.
else? Monday to Friday. And on Saturdays, 10 to 3. Well, guess what else is doing that within that window of time? Traffic, right? You got to get off work, go get your kids, still got to get fingerprinted, and it's like no time. So now you got to push it on Saturday, right? Well, if you're in partnership with us, you get before and after special hours. So you can schedule as early as 7 a.m. as to as late as 7 p.m. when you're a partner. Okay, so you get preferred scheduling, so you can come get this out the way, do what you got to do, and then go on with your day. Okay, so you get preferred scheduling. We also offer discounts on mobile services, so you may not have time to come to us, and you need us to come to you and fingerprint you in between the times of your agents meetings, or your staff meetings or whatever. We can come set up in a conference room, fingerprint all your people, or however, whether it's 1 or 300, and we can block that time off, get all of them fingerprinted, so you get discounts on mobile services. We are commission notaries. You get so many, depending on the package, you get so many free notaries for the month. So, and there's a bunch of other incentives and perks, because we love incentivizing our clients, because we believe that our clients are the heartbeats of OnPointe Alliance. They keep us alive. They enable us to do what we do, what we love to do. And because of them and us learning their needs, understanding what they need, we've been able to create a business model that caters to the needs of our clients, that not only protects their information, but protects them as a client. It holds us accountable to commit to accuracy, efficiency. We don't believe in gray areas here. We're not taking cheap. We have cheap systems and things like that in place. We have state of the art equipment that we're utilizing. We have our team go under a rigorous training. Rabia can speak to that. Okay. We train for special circumstances, because we don't believe that people have bad ridges. We do believe that everyone's fingerprints are unique, and we feel like, hey, if everybody's fingerprints were perfect, how good does that really make us? Because you don't get credit for pooping on the pot, right? You do what you're supposed to do. You should know how to fingerprint. But what happens when that person can't straighten their fingers? How do you fingerprint them? What happens when this person's hands are super sweaty? What happens if this person's hands have tremors? What happens if this person's fingers are amputated? What happens if this person's finger is cut? What happens if this person's been somewhere 5 times, 3 times, and been rejected each time, and then they come to you because they were told that OnPointe Alliance is the best. OnPointe Alliance is more qualified to capture those special circumstances. That's one of the benefits of partnering with OnPointe Alliance. We get it right the first time. You're not leaving our office and we're not comfortable with what you're leaving our office with. Yes, there are certain situations that's out of our control, out of your control, but we train for those circumstances. Okay, so I would love for Rabia to give some input right here and share any thoughts that you may have concerning that subject.
I definitely agree with everything that you're saying. The fingerprint boot camp definitely was a wide awakening. It prepared me for all those various different situations which I was not expecting. It was a lot more in depth than what I was expecting it to be. They taught us about different type of ridges, fingerprint patterns, what to do in situations when they don't have ridges. They don't have perfect ridges, the pressure, how light or how heavy it should be how to fingerprint in all types of situations, even if the person has an amputated finger. For example, they had dry hands, sweaty palms. They covered a lot of different situations. So the curriculum was definitely, it was very um, well, the instruction was very well delivered, and it was a lot more depth than just somebody just buying a fingerprinting or just starting a fingerprinting business. With no experience. It's really shows you a lot in history behind fingerprinting.
Okay. Rabaya, how would you say, just with a person as yourself, why is it important to, because we talk about communication at the workstation, at our workstations as we're servicing our clients, why it is so important to set proper expectations, to constantly communicate with the client, to make sure that they have that they're comfortable, to earn their trust. What would you say, just with as a person of yourself, with some physical challenges? Why is that important?
It's important to make them feel comfortable and relaxed, because you want them to trust what you're doing, that you're capable of what you're doing. You want them to feel confident that this is the right place, and they're going to receive quality services. Also, with physical challenges, because you can assume, but because they may not experience quality service or be treated treated with respect, you want to make them feel in your space. You want them to feel as comfortable as possible so that they have a pleasant experience.
Yes, because we've had one specific instance where it was a older woman, more mature woman. She was well in her 80s. Okay, ridges worn down. She had a stroke. She came to us. When I tell you, she was so nervous. She came in the door apologizing, giving disclaimers, and pretty much in tears because she had been to other places. Her hands were shaking. Now, if we stretch her finger, it opened, but she didn't have the mobility to stretch it herself, and her hands kept shaking. So wherever she went, they were yanking her around, they were being mean, or making her feel bad. So of course she's nervous because she was giving our information that we could possibly get them to capture some classifiable prints. And I wish because I didn't ask her where this place was, because it really pissed me off. And I wish I can go and just pop them upside the head, because first of all, why would you treat anybody like that? And third, if you are qualified and competent, the lady, you can capture her prints. Now, yeah, they were worn. Yeah, you got to use certain techniques to be able to really get some good prints on her. But it wasn't that it was so bad that, and her hand wasn't like shaking like this, that even if you hold it, it is shaking too. Like, come on. She didn't deserve that. And I said, your hands are perfect, especially for a fingerprinting technician. Because if I don't know how to fingerprint you, what does that say about me and my skill?
Right.
I should be able to fingerprint anybody. Now, there are some instances where the ridges they're just not visible. Right? But it shouldn't be that I don't know how to communicate with you, that I don't know. Because look, even down to pulling this finger here, automatically tendons start pulling. Right? I feel that in my wrist. You got to know how to hold these people's hand. You have to know how to position them. If their feet not in the right position, it can affect how everything goes, and they're feeling strained. And it's like, come on. So it just made us proud that when she called us back, all we did, we made her comfortable, earned her trust, and told her hands were perfect. Don't she ever let anybody tell her they're not, they're different. Okay. And just, if she would promise to let us know if they went through it. She called us and she was in tears that her fingerprints went through for the first time in years. And that's what we are about. We gonna figure it out and do our due diligence to make sure that we're grabbing classifiable prints. They know in training, if it's not up to par, I'm not approving it. Okay, they have to turn in A+ cards to pass certification. So it's not about the book knowledge. It's not about, industry insights. It's not about all that stuff, because that's easy. But I want to know, I'm monitoring how you're communicating. I'm monitoring how you're executing. I'm monitoring how you're interacting with your client. All of that plays a part in me endorsing someone coming through my program. So we make sure. Now, that sounds like a lot, but would you say it was hard, Rabia?
And it wasn't hard at all. It was just a new experience. And I definitely didn't think that quality fingerprinting entailed that much. I just thought it was just fingerprinting. Anybody can fingerprint, I thought. But
Say that part, because I thought
I thought until I started your program and learned about the customer service, knowing how to position yourself. Then when all the factors are put into play, it's like it's an eye opener. It's definitely not hard. It's doable, but you have to learn the technique and then your technique.
Right. And last thing, what Rabia is referring to, because she has some physical elements that she has to be mindful of, even down to Travis. His arms are a different length than mine. His hand is a different size than mine, right? He's a man. We are women with breasts. We have hips. He has to know how to be mindful of his space and not making me as a woman uncomfortable, protecting himself
by not making them feel too comfortable.
All right, because we done had that too. We done had that too. Him protecting himself in a situation to not be, misunderstood. Because you got to be careful with your words nowadays on the social media. That just pays off. But I teach each one of them to see what I see. I train your eye, and then I help you navigate how to execute. So I don't teach you how to fingerprint just like me, but I sure do train your eye, just like my mentor trained my eye on what to see. And then I help you navigate under your circumstances to have the same outcome as if I fingerprinted someone. Okay, so we're going to get into how to sign up for my boot camp. But my point in saying all that is we go through a very rigorous training to make sure that we're delivering quality. Okay, that we're not adding to the high percentage of rejected fingerprints.
Right.
All right. So on top of that, you get we have a dedicated account management system and process to make it easy to schedule. And again, we have a variety of monthly incentives, perks, and things that we offer our clients that just let them know that we appreciate them doing business with us. So if you're trying to save money, time, and resources, you're trying to cut the high percentage of onboarding delays within your agency, if you're trying to ensure that you're doing your due diligence with independent contractors, with volunteers, with different staff members. I don't care how long they've been with you. Connect with us. We can help you with a seamless process to make sure that you have done your due diligence. All right. So we're going to talk in this with our fingerprinting boot camp opportunity. No, that next one. Yep. You can get this on our website, onpointalliance.com, and select Empower University. Is going to tell you the different options of our fingerprinting boot camp. There you'll see what's posted is our ink card fingerprinting option, but we do have the option for electronic fingerprinting services as well. Give us a call and we will love to discuss your goals and see which program is best for you. But we highly recommend that everybody know how to do an ink card fingerprint, because if you can't do an ink card, what are you gonna do on the live scan? Yeah, people depend on the device to do all the work, but it's sometimes where it's not just put the fingerprints on there and the machine capture it. You got to know what you're doing and exercise different techniques to grab those prints. Okay, so if you're looking for a flexible, self-paced, low startup cost industry to get into, industry that's in high demand, because again, if you're listening and you Google fingerprints near me, look how many locations that you'll be able to go to, and call them and ask, do they do traditional ink, not scanned ink, because a lot of people have that device.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of places they'll sell you the device and teach you how to use the device, but a lot of the technique is not included in that package. Okay, so again, reach out to us if you're interested, if you are wanting to start a fingerprinting business. If you can take that out. If you currently have a fingerprinting business, but you want to scale it, because once you get in here, you start learning there's certain boundaries you cannot cross, and sometimes it can be a little discouraging if you really don't know how to navigate in the industry. Okay, you want to scale your business, or you just may be a company that you have to get people fingerprinted frequently, and you want to save some money, time, and resources by having an in-house certified fingerprinting provider. I can get them certified, and they'll be able to do the federal, state, and international purposes. And then they can go, you have a person right in house to fingerprint your employees. If you're interested in any three of those levels, and I give you everything you need to successfully either run a business, start your business, scale your business, or add efficiency to your onboarding process. Okay. So with that being said,
the only thing gonna make you stand out is your ability, the ability of your skills. Because with the people that do have it, with the people that are out there doing it, what will make you stand out is your skill level and your ability to do what it is that or dominate in your industry. With the last few minutes I have, I'm gonna take a few minutes to do a little bragging on myself. When Arlita was talking about the how we start off with teaching you how to do the ink card fingerprint, and how a lot of people rely on the machine to guide them through, or say if they did good or whatever. I had a lady the other day that came in for a live scan, and though she had nice ridges, every ridge came up red. So when you do when I'm speaking about red, it's like, of course, in the good sense, green is gold. Let's say red is stop, green is good and red is bad. So every print was coming up red on this machine, and it's like we didn't understand why would it be coming up. So I told her, this is where I have to rely on my professional expertise to be able to do what it is that I need to do as a fingerprint technician, and be able to get the best possible prints, even though it is showing red. Now, some of them I was able to go back through and get some of them to turn yellow. About two of them I got to turn green.
Let me say this. So the device, it scores
Mm-hmm.
the images or the impression. And so it'll let you know, hey, this is not readable, it's not clear for whatever various reasons. And this is where I was talking about you as a technician. What do you do? What can you implement
Right.
to get these prints to be as clear as possible on this device? Because just because the person put a hand on it, don't mean it's gonna go boop, boop, boop. Okay, you can go. It's not that simple in a lot of cases, but we've trained different techniques on different situations. So
Right.
that's what he's referring to, where the device was scoring it low, but he knew how to navigate to get it to be a classifiable a print that could be approved.
Hence, thereby ending in an approved set of prints.
Yeah, he just pulled up our
Bravo,
system and
Bravo,
showing that the person was approved.
and it was approved. So I just felt like that was important for me to share how my skills are. And all thanks to you for your extensive training and for throwing me into the water during the pandemic.
Yeah, because he did
fingerprinting
not want to
every day. I did not want to fingerprint.
I'm like, I need some help, because during that time, all of the medical professionals, they were still being required to get fingerprinted. If y'all remember, it was a shortage. So they were being called everywhere around the world. They had to get these licenses. I was there by myself, and I ain't gonna lie, I was so happy he got furloughed, because I could not keep up and do that all by myself. And so I'm like, bro, I need you to get your life together. I need some help.
Well,
now,
I got it together.
He is really, 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 really good.
And
almost 700 five-star
Google reviews
that we've accumulated. We're pretty proud.
Yes, we are.
That's what we have tonight, guys. I hope I've given some insight. We've given some insight as to why it's important to consider doing a proper background screening, whether it's a name check, whether it's a fingerprint on the people you're conducting business with within your business, okay? And to consider partnering with OnPointe Alliance, because the difference between us and the big people, they have budgets. We have bills. We have to earn your trust. We have to make sure we're doing it right, because sometimes the larger companies, they gotta do it right and reject. They don't have to commit to doing this right for a review, because it don't matter how many bad reviews they get, because they're the ones who either are in contract or whatever the circumstance may be. They don't have to commit to a certain level of service, right? Well, we do.
Right.
We have to train. We have to pay for training. It ain't just, I'm one of the teachers and you can just assign me to do fingerprints today. I work at the ice cream shop and y'all got a device over in the corner and I'm just responsible for doing the fingerprints today. That's not this setup, and we care about making sure we're doing everything we can to help you accomplish your goals within your business and hit those new milestones within your agency. Okay. So we appreciate you guys listening with us yet another Monday.
Thanks again to Ms. Rabaya Hogan's of Variable Professional Solutions for being our guest co-host on tonight. As always, we ask you guys to remember to like, share, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. That's what I want to specify. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. And so then when we go live, we get the notifications there. And it will show of course, our viewership as well. So, as always, we say for you all to have a great, great, great rest of the week because this is the beginning of it. So
Yes,
we
it
want you
is.
guys to enjoy, have a great, great rest of the week, and always continue to remember to mind your business. On that note, good night and see you next